Hey guys, welcome back to another build video and farming guide. So the last video I posted was a Bighorn regen build, which if you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out. I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. But with the Bighorn being a rare item that you have to more specifically farm, I figured I'd put together a skill build that can make farming the 10th floor of the summit fairly easy. And it might not be the fastest build out there for farming floor 10, but it's pretty safe and effective and has tons of healing and it gets the job done. So with that, let's take a look at this build. Alright, so for this build I'm using 4 pieces of Refractor, 1 piece Hana U, and the Waveform holster. So let's look at the Refractor stuff. This is going to give status effect, skill damage, and the 4-piece bonus is Return to Sender. So you receive repairs of 10% of the damage dealt by your skills, and your allies receive repairs of 20% of the damage dealt by your skills. So if I throw out my turret, put my drone in the air, get these targeted, I run over here and try and damage myself. I'm healing so fast I'm actually struggling just to break my own armor, but you can see how fast it comes back. So when both skills are shooting at the same time, if you get your armor broken, it's going to come back almost instantly. So my mask has skill tier, skill damage, and I have a skill haste mod on here. The skill haste isn't super important because the skills are going to be tier 6, so they have quite a bit of health, but the drone in particular will get shot down sometimes, so the skill haste is nice to get it back in the air as quick as possible. Then for the chest, I have skill tier, skill damage, and skill haste, and this has the talent Increased Interest, and this increases the repairs received from Return to Sender from 10% to 25%, and from 20% to 35%. Then for the gloves, they roll armor natively, so I re-rolled to skill tier, and I have armor regen down here, but ideally this would be skill damage. Then for the knee pads, I have armor and skill damage. I'm going armor on this one because I'm going to be getting a skill tier from the Specialization. Then for the backpack, I'm using the Force Multiplier. It's 1 piece of Hana U. This is going to give 10% skill haste. This has skill tier, skill haste, skill damage, skill haste, and the talent Perfect Combined Arms. So shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. So what would actually be slightly better is if you have one, is go with a Wyvern backpack for this 8% skill damage and roll regular combined arms or tech support. And that would actually be a bit stronger, but I don't have a good Wyvern backpack for this setup. Then for the holster, I'm using the Waveform. This gives 1 skill tier, skill damage, skill haste, and this has the talent Alternating Current. So basically this gives you 30% skill damage, and if you have 2 skills active, it swaps the 30% back and forth between the 2 skills. Then for the skills, I'm using the Striker Drone. This is going to be tier 6, and then I have 15 expertise in here, giving me a little bit of extra damage. And for the mods, I have duration, health, and damage reduction. Then for the second skill, I'm using the turret. This is also going to be tier 6. I have 12 expertise in this one, giving me a little bit of extra damage, and I don't have any mods for this one. Then for the weapon, I'm using the capacitor. Mine doesn't have any expertise in it. This has assault rifle damage, damaged armor, and mine has crit chance down here. And this has the talent Capacitance. So basically this is going to increase your skill damage by up to 60% and then also give you some weapon damage. And if you don't have this, you can use something like the Test Subject or the Harmony Rifle. These are both going to have the talent Perfectly in Sync, which is going to increase your skill damage by up to 40%. And if you don't have either of these, you can use any weapon with regular in sync, and that'll increase your skill damage by up to 30%. Then for a skill build, there's nothing really to see in the stats, so I'll just skip right to the Specialization. So I'm using Technician mainly for this skill tier right here. And then Make sure whatever gun you're using, have it selected here for an extra 15% weapon damage. So if you've never farmed the Bighorn before at the summit, the first thing you should do is hit the menu, come down here to targeted loot, and you want to have assault rifle selected here. It can still drop even if you don't. I actually didn't realize I had something different selected here when I was recording, so I got super lucky. But definitely make sure you have this selected. Then if we go to this elevator, take a look down here at the threat scaling, and you can see floor 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 all have one boss. 70 and 80 have 2, floor 90 has 3. So you can do this on any 10th floor, but normally people just kind of do it on floor 10 because it's the easiest, and that's what I usually do. And then make sure you have the difficulty set to legendary because the Bighorn can only drop on legendary. So here I am on floor 10, I'm about to kill the boss, and what you want to do is when you kill him, you want to grab the loot and you want to immediately leave back to the lobby. Because if you completely clear the floor, it'll force you to floor 11, and then you'll have to just make your way to floor 20 in order to get to another boss, or reset the summit back to floor 1. So the boss died, I'm going to run around here, grab my loot, and I'm just going to exit back to the lobby. Once you get back to the lobby, you're just going to run back to the elevator, go back to floor 10, and rinse and repeat. And you can do this over and over again as long as you don't completely clear the floor. So that's the build and the method for farming floor 10 of the summit. Try it out, let me know how it works out for you. I'm going to leave you with some gameplay so you can see the full loop, and I actually dropped the Bighorn at the end. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.